everybody, I'm Tom.
And I'm Camilla.
And today we're taking a look at a game called Snails. Because legally, they can't call it Worms.
They cannot.
But this is Worms, essentially. If you've ever played the old video game Worms, did you?
I did not. I had to Google it, and now I know what it looks like.
I played it all the time in college when I should have been studying. Worms was a game we just sat there and shot weapons at each other and blew each other up. This is, now you're a bunch of snails. You have 4 snails against your opponents, 4 snails or up to 3 opponents, and you blow each other up. Here's how it plays. The first thing you'll do is you'll build a map. Over here you have a contamination track. This will start low, but if your worms fall in the water, that's basically how much damage they'll take. On the board will be numbers, like 1, 2, and 3, and that just shows you the level. You put the beach and then the grass and the mountain on a 3, just the beach and grass on a level 2, and the beach on a level 1. And you can kind of build your own map if you want to. The other side of the board allows you to do that. Each player is going to choose a color, and then you're also going to choose kind of your leader snail. Each of these then pops into here. You have a health tracker for your 4 snails. So you'll have your leader and then 3 other snails. You can see each of them there, and you'll have a colored base of them. You're going to get some basic action cards of your color. You'll get a special action card that matches the symbol on your leader, and then you'll draw stuff from a deck. The red ones are kind of like attack cards, and the purple ones are more like special cards that you can use. The first thing players will do in a turn is they get to draw a card, and then you may discard 2 cards to draw another card. So you're always going to have some cards that you're going to be able to use. Then players are going to prepare. So you're going to have some tokens here. One of them is going to be the snail that you're going to be using this turn, and the other is kind of a backup snail. There's ways to have it switch, and those are hidden, so people don't know which of them you're going to be using. Then players are going to be taking their cards, and they're going to be placing them in the different spots here, and you can place these extra cards if you want to in the spots. People can't tell from the back. And then everyone's going to reveal their number 1 card in turn order and do it. Now the basic action cards have 2 sides, so the side that you have up is going to matter. So first we have the crawl. This lets you move 2 spaces. Now you can only move 2 spaces if you're going down terrain or on the same terrain. If you want to move up 1 level, that will cost you 2 movement. There can only be 3 snails in an area, so you can take damage. You can also play the shell, and you'll take 5 less damage when you're in a shell. Although there are ways to knock people out of their shell or to hurt people with those shells. You can punch someone, that just does 5 damage to someone. You'll see it's 0 here, so it's in the same space as you are. You can also dig with the pickaxe symbol. When you dig, it's a way to get rid of terrain. So you'll put a damage token on the first time that you dig. This lets you draw cards. The second time, if there already is a damage token, you'll flip it over, and it will give you maybe some advantages, although this one here has a trap, and you'll take 5 damage. And eventually, when you get rid of some of these, then you're in the water if you've dug all the way down that far. And then the aim symbol is going to let you roll again on your next attack. So there's going to be a lot of attack cards in here. Each attack card shows you a distance. So you're in the same space or 1 away. It does 5 damage. Not so great, really, but this is infinity. You can keep this card in your hand. This one's the same thing, but you can only do it in the same spot, but it makes the other snail leave the shelf they're in it. But there's all kinds of things. Here's a revolver. When there's a revolver, it hits 2 times. Then you're going to roll a die, and if you roll a triangle, you hit for 10 damage, a circle 5 damage, but there's also a square, which does nothing. SMG, the square does 15, the triangle does 5. These weapons don't have infinity on them, so after you've used them, they're going to go away. But then there's other things here. Put dynamite that you can blow up later on a spot, a med kit that will heal people, remove a tile from the board, and you're going to keep going trying to take out the other snails. There's a little more than that. When this symbol is played, your active snail will switch with your other snail. Now that snail is the one who all the actions will take heed to. There's different tokens. Each one has a special ability. Like, for example, these guys, when they climb, they can ignore a level 1 difference. But you're going to keep going until a certain number of rounds is over, which you'll keep track with this token here. And then you'll add up all the hit points of the snails that are alive, And whoever has the most hit points is the winner. You can also eliminate everybody. Hee hee hee. I was very surprised. I mean, I kind of got this and I said, I'll play it with my son. We'll see how it works out. And I was not expecting a lot. I was surprised at how much fun it was.
Yes.
Components are pretty good. My only components, and I don't know how they can fix this, is finding the right piece. I need to find the card that matches the faction. I need to find the token that matches. I need to find the life token that matches it, and putting that together. It's not, and then the snails themselves, they have so much gunnery on them that they look. Sometimes they look similar. It's hard. Some of them are easy to tell. In fact, I picked one. I was like, I know which one this one is.
I know that would react. I will say they visually it looks fantastic on the board, but there is going to be a couple times in the game where like, which snail is that again? And you're having to double check a couple times because you all have the same snails outside of your main one, but it's like, oh, is that the? There's two small ones, and I just got them mixed up consistently.
It's also a little weird to me that there's no differential between them. Like, is this the fast one? No, it's the same. They're all your snails have the same hit points. I thought the bigger one would start at 30.
Right. And I would be a fan if it was something like that, like a different starting health or something, but I'm actually glad and I was relieved that they didn't have special abilities because that would have been one more thing to have to remember. That was one of my big complaints of the game was you play as an individual faction, and so you have a special power that is typically always on, depending on which one you choose, but always on, and there's nothing to remind you of that. There's not a card of it. You just have to remember that you're the zombie. So
the symbol isn't even helpful.
It's not. It's not necessarily related. You just have to learn each of the 6 factions and what their ability is and remember it.
And the box says 10 plus, but do realize there is a lot going on because what you're teaching, you're saying, okay, first you're going to program. Yeah. Secondly, you're only using this one snail unless you play the card that switches them. Right. Which, by the way, I found that to be wonky. They could have... I don't know. I would almost rather there have been, like, a token you put on the card to say what snail's moving, or just say you can only do one. The switching thing, it's fine. It just felt a little... It
feels like a wasted turn because you're just switching, and it does give a little bit of tension to the battle for sure because you're just declaring you're switching. You're not revealing which one you're switching to. And so it does kind of have that heightened a little bit of tension. But at the same time, nobody can do anything differently. It's not like they can react to it. So it was a neat tension that was unneeded and kind of lost because they can't react. I mean, you program and it's just revealing and activating.
So on that note, the programming. You might program and it's like, well, that didn't go the way I wanted to, as every programming does. Yeah. But I think what saves snails is stupidity.
Yeah.
And as dumb as that is, it's just stupid fun. Yeah. I got a bazooka, I'm firing it. I just blew up myself by accident, and everyone laughs. I dig down, the water's like getting more and more radioactive. Yeah. As some cards come up, they make it more radioactive. It's amusing, and I think if you take this game seriously, you might be a little annoyed by it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying there's no strategy. There's some, but you can have all the strategy in the world, and especially once you go into multiplayer games, then it's insanity.
Yeah.
But it's stupid fun that isn't just luck. You're like trying to do stuff, and I think it really works.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think you have strategy every round, but then once you actually get to the resolution of the round, you become very tactical. And it's very like, oh, well, I have this guy and I was going to shoot over here, but then that guy moved away, or you died and blew yourself up, so I guess now I'll shoot this way instead. So you have a little bit of flexibility within that programming, which I do appreciate. But it is, I think the word I kept coming to was just kind of raucous. It's just silly.
Raucous is a good word for this. Yeah, so for me, that you know what you're getting into. I know there's actually a Worms game that just was kickstarted or Game Fan or something that's coming out in the future, or maybe it even is out. I'm not sure. But this is what I played, and this is Worms, the board game to me. Mm-hmm. I liked it a lot. My son liked it a lot. It's just a kind of an entertaining thing for me in that setting. So it's a 7 for me. It's fun. It's not the kind of game I want to play all the time, but I was very amused by it.
Yeah, I'm coming in at a 7 as well, actually. I thought that it was a little bit too rules or situation specific. heavy
Sure.
for the raucous, fun nature of the game, and
You can
that
just ignore them. That's what I would do.
right. It's just kind of, you're right. I mean, there are the kind of points, a couple points of the game where I'm just like, let's just all play this way. We're good. Because halfway, 3/4 of the way through our first game, we're still going back to the rule book, and so it just kind of breaks that cadence of the game. So I did find the rules to be a little bit too intrusive, I guess, into the fun nature of the game. But that being said, I had a lot of fun, and I look forward to keep getting it to the table. So for me, it's a 7.
Well, there you go, folks. That is Snails. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Camilla.
See you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.